All right, the Ancaster Avalanche U11BBs continuing their Tier 2 semifinal playoff series, and sometimes moms and dads have to go to two different cities and the backup cameras have to be used. Just be thankful there's footage. We caught most of it, I think. Raise your hand if you're as curious as the rest of us as to what gets said after these little cheering sessions to start a hockey game. Eliana Niederman and Ryan Penner, they'll never tell. But the Panthers are the first to get a shot on net, thrown right into the blue paint. Ryan Penner thought she had it, but it was knocked aside. Then, great pickoff by Adelaide Thivy in the high slot. Gets a shot right on, but that one doesn't go. Then, the high view of this one. Panthers player is going to shoot it from a tough angle, throws it right out front into the slot. Panthers player gets a chance, but that is going to be stopped by the traffic in front. Then in the corner, Ryan Penner is going to slap one with her paddle that goes right to the stick of a Panthers player who's waiting and pounces on it. Panthers up by 1, Avalanche down. Then it's going to be Avery King still looking for that playoff pup. He can't get that one to go. Then it's Reagan Hutcheson. She's going to get in tight and wail away at it. So does King, but neither of them can get the puck past the Panthers goaltender. And we're going to head to the second period. Avalanche down by 1. Shot is going to be shot in from the point. It's going to find its way all the way through. Penner, a little bit of trouble getting a handle on that one, and it almost gets tapped in, but it stays out. Then the Avalanche watching a puck get tipped right on. Penner this time gets a handle on it as the player falls into her. The Avs then off to the races the other way. Emma Skiltice wins this race to the puck, tries to chip it over the pad. Nice chance there, but can't get the finish. Avalanche still trail by 1. Then it's Izzy O'Hagan. Dingle dancing into the zone, gets a pass over to Reagan Hutcheson. The backhand almost goes, but the sliding stop of the Panthers goalie is a good one. Avalanche then on their own end. Puck is going to be chipped in front. Penner thinks she's got it again, but it does go astray. Thankfully stays out of the net. Then here comes Avery King weaving, walking, and there is a goal that deserves to be the pick of the litter. Get this kid a puppy already. The weird, wide, high shot of King and company celebrating that goal is still good enough to watch. Then the Avalanche gonna watch the shot come in from the point. Ryan Penner this time slick with the glove to hang on. Then it's gonna be Reagan Hutcheson. She's gonna be sprung, gets a great shot right on, tries to go 5-hole, can't get that to go. Good stop by the Panthers goalie. Then Penner gets a paddle on this one, hangs on as the Avalanche pushing out the Panthers away from the front of their net. Good job, girls. But watch this play from the Panthers. Ring a ding ding. What a shot. Not too many kids at this level unleashing that shot. Avalanche are down 2-1. Then it's going to be Izzy O'Hagan once again bringing the puck into the zone. Gets a great shot right on, but that shot is stopped. Then the Avalanche trying to jam away at the side of the net. They do all they can to try and get this one to go, but they can't. The Avalanche still trailing by a goal. Then a scramble in front. Adelaide Thivy, look at the reaction. Her tip is right on, but it doesn't go. The Avalanche are down by 1 into the third period. Ryan Penner trying to make sure it stays a 1-goal deficit. Good pad and glove stop there. Then here come the Panthers once again, this time all alone. But Harper Barr with the great defense, and then the puck is thrown back out front, and Penner alertly kicks the pad out. Good play there. Then the Avalanche, look at that shot by Ava Peaver, but it's gloved aside by the Panthers goalie. They are pressing and trying to get it going. Then it's finally Reagan Hutcheson who's going to jab in a loose puck in the blue paint, and we are tied at 2. Game on, girls. Let's go. Avalanche then hanging on late in this hockey game. Penner with a good pedal stop. Another shot comes in from a wide angle, and Penner hangs on. Doesn't quite know where it is, but the Avalanche are hanging on and making sure that puck doesn't go in their net. Then another shot comes in from the far point. Penner alertly kicks it into the corner, so there is no rebound available. Then Olivia McRae right from the point. Emma Skiltice tips it just wide. Almost Avalanche lead late in this hockey game, but back the other way. The Panthers getting a rush right on, and Ryan Penner with a great stop on the high shot and then falls on the loose puck, making sure nobody can slap at it. Avalanche hanging on, still tied late in this game, but then with just about 5 seconds left, look at this Panthers player. She's going to walk right in, and the hard angle shot goes whistling just wide. The Avalanche, you can see the frustration on the Panthers player. She skates off. Avalanche hang on for the 2-2 tie. Great game from the Avalanche and the Panthers. You're having a little bit of fun with the stick slamming incident there as well. Avalanche and Panthers will play the next day in Central York's barn in Aurora. Ancaster getting goals from Hutcheson and King. Get that kid a dog already. And the math is simple for the final game of these playoffs. Ancaster win, and you are in the Tier 2 championship final against Napanee. One more game against the Panthers. Go get 'em, Avs.